Mm. Oh, shoot, I'm live. Welcome back. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Now, we're going to get into some national, international news. There's a lot going on. So, we know Iran said it is going to strike Israel back. So we looking at World War III in the making. That may happen sometime soon. So the U.S. ordered its uh, American citizens to get out of Lebanon now, ASAP. So that's happening now. Um, we had a migrant shooting it at Randall's Island. Three people were shot there. The migrants still acting cray cray. And then we had a terroristic threat against Travis Cleese and Morgan Wallen concert, which caused a delay. An Illinois man has been charged with a felony after he threatened on social media to shoot two individuals at the concert on Friday. 23-year-old Aaron Brown's alleged targets were members of the Kansas City Chiefs organization and were present at the event. The concert was delayed some 40 minutes while Brown was located and taken into custody. Per the Kansas City Star, Brown described his tweet to police as a stupid, stupid mistake, and he did not know why he had shared it. His girlfriend, who was also questioned, suggested he had done so because of his support for a rival football team. She added that she told him not to tweet that, almost always the best advice ever, but he did so anyway. While the prosecutor's statement did not identify the Chiefs player allegedly targeted by name, both Patrick Mahomes and Travis Cleese were in attendance and accompanied Whelan during his signature dressing room walkout when the show eventually began. The three the three men can be seen kicking off proceeds in a Whalen posted to TikTok. You can't make threats on social media. You can't do that. You cannot do that. My hair is going back. Mhm. Let's see here. Donald Trump accused of having empty seats during Georgia rally. Why is that even important? Why is it important? I mean, I guess it's important on the Democratic end if you only had 68 people, but for him, why is that important that he had him? Oh, I guess it shows that he's losing support. Oh, because they saying Vice President Harris filled every seat in the arena area 4 days ago. Yeah, but normally she don't feel any. So why is this even important? Why is this even being written? Who cares? 50 Cent wins 1 billion power lawsuits from former kingpin. 50 Cent has won the 1 billion lawsuit brought by a former drug kingpin over his hit series Power. According to All Hip Hop, Corey Ghost Holland alleged that 50 stole his life story for a plot on the Start show. He first filed a $1 billion lawsuit back in 2021, naming co-creator Courtney Kemp Starks and Lionsgate in addition to 50 Cent. Holland argued that he detailed his life story in a 2007 CD titled Blasphemy, which he sent to Kemp's father. He had hoped it would help him find legitimate way to earn a living and get out the drug trade. Mm, I didn't even know that. Wow. Kamalia Harris' husband, Doug Emhoff, admits to extramarital affair that led to the breakup of first marriage. Second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, the husband of Vice President Kamala Harris, admitted Saturday to having an extramarital affair during his first marriage after a bombshell report by Daily Mail reported he got his children's nanny pregnant. During my first marriage, Kirsten and I went through some tough times on account of my actions. I took responsibility in the years since we worked through things as a family, have come out stronger on the other side. Hmm. Okay. Up to 400 homes planned for edge of town. Plans have been submitted for up to 400 new homes in Shrewsbury. The developer is also seeking outline approval for another 298 properties. Where is this at? It's not even showing where it's at. Kamala Harris accidentally calls herself president during eulogy for late Dem Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Well, at least she did go to her funeral. It was Sheila Jackson Lee whose bill made Juneteenth a federal holiday. Which, as a United States Senator, I was proud to co-sponsor, and then as Vice President, it was my honor with the President, it was my honor. It was my honor with our President Joe Biden to stand beside Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee as our president signed her bill into law. It was Sheila Jackson. Mm, that's interesting. Oh, this is important. Now, this is important. People with HIV have been arrested in Indiana for donating plasma. An HIV criminalization report on Indiana's donor laws found that because of screening protocols, the people pose no risk of transmission. How was that? It's carried in your blood. So if you get a transfusion, you're likely to have it. 18 people living with HIV in Indiana were arrested between 2001 and 2019 for donating plasma, though thanks to effective screening methods, none of them pose a risk for transmitting the virus, found a new report. The Williams Institute is a research center focusing on law and public policy as they pertain to sexual orientation and gender identity. HIV criminalization refers to use of unfair laws to target people with HIV, notably African American, Latinos, LGBTQ, and women, and punish them because of their HIV status, not because of their actions. Under outdated laws, people with HIV can be sentenced to prison in cases where HIV was not transmitted and their only crime was allegedly not disclosing their status. Mhm. Currently, Indiana has six laws criminalizing people living with HIV. The new report, okay, the new report highlights the impact of laws that criminalize the donation of blood, plasma, and semen for artificial insemination by someone with HIV. I thought this was something else. So okay. Jennifer Lopez shows Ben Affleck full body after filing for divorce. I mean, they broke up before they got back together. They broke up again. Who? Okay, so what's the big news? Who cares? Americans to receive one-time payment from 5.6 billion Visa Mastercard settlement, and the deadline has been extended. Visa and Mastercard agreed to pay 5.6 billion after consumers paid excessive fees to accept their uh, payment cards. The lawsuit alleged that Visa and Mastercard violated antitrust laws. Antitrust laws, also referred to competition laws, are statutes developed by the U.S. government to protect consumers. They ensure that fair competition exists in an open market society. Hmm. So I guess if you've been affected, they extended the deadline. Guys should probably. I'm about to apply for it now. I'm about to apply for it right now. I need all the money I can get. Oh man. Okay, that wasn't even it. All right, let me see. I done did. Let me see. Mortgage rates plummet. We also have a similar stock market crash the other day. Mortgage rates down to the lowest level of the year. Fed up dead throws 10-year-old daughter his car on a busy road, tells her to walk to her grandparents. Wow, where did this happen at? A Florida dad is behind bars after he allegedly kicked his 10-year-old daughter out of his car onto a busy road and ordered her to walk to her grandparents' house miles away. Residents immediately went to the girl to make sure she was safe. The girl was understandably scared. She was distraught at times. She was crying. She was confused. You know, she's a 10-year-old little girl. It's after midnight hours and it's dark. This type of behavior is unacceptable. And the way that they are human trafficking, anything could have happened to that child. He need to be locked up. IDF, that's Israel, uncovers massive smuggling tunnel for vehicles on Gaza-Egypt border. Israel Defense Force that is big enough to allow vehicles to pass through border between Gaza and Egypt. Wow. The 10-foot tall tunnel was found last week on the so-called Philadelphia route as IDF troops were in the air to search for tunnel routes that Hamas terrorists were believed to use to smuggle arms. The IDF said that troops have eliminated dozens of such tunnels in the air and will continue to uncover and destroy others that they may find. Well, Iran already said they're going to strike again. Missile attack by Yemen's Houthi rebels hits container ship in the first attack in 2 weeks. A missile attack by Yemen's Houthi rebels struck a Liberian flag container ship traveling through the Gulf of Aden, the first assault by the group since Israeli airstrikes targeted them. Mm. Ex-Trump White House officials, dozens of Republicans are endorsing Harris. Wow. Mm. Wow. So dozens of Republicans endorsing. Oh well. Okay. Now Donald Trump Jr. lays out plans to stop Kamala. He said we deserve a secure system where our future is decided by our citizens, not this anti-American version of Democrats led by Vice President Kamala Harris. They have undermined our country at every turn. They did do that. Oh, we got Tropical Storm Debbie that's headed to the Gulf of Mexico. They trying to figure out the path and see if it's going to turn into a hurricane. So Harris is supposed to pick her VP this week. Strikes on Gaza kill 12 and stabbing in Israel kills 2 as fears a wider war spike. So U.S. is sending aircraft carrier warships and fighter squadron to Middle East as region braces for Iranian retaliation because Israel killed the Hamas top leader the other day. I just said hurricane watch is in effect for Florida's Big Bend region. This is what I wanted to talk about. So this week, Dow plunges nearly 1,000 points amid sharp drop in U.S. hiring. This is the beginning of the recession that they can't stop. It's coming. Can't stop this one. Stocks tumbled Friday after new government data showed a steep decline in hiring in July, spurring concerns that economic activity is slowing faster than economists expected. 2 hours into the session, the blue chip Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 984 points. The broader S&P 500 sank 2.5%, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite lost nearly 3%. We headed to a recession. I think we've been in a recession, but they ain't gonna be able to deny this one. Intel, this is another thing I wanted to hit. Intel is laying off 15,000 employees and will stop non-essential work after losses. The chip maker is cutting 10 billion in costs. Intel's on long road to recovery, and over 15,000 workers will no longer be coming along for the ride. The chip maker just announced it's downsizing its workforce by 15% as part of a new 10 billion cost saving plan for 2025. Intel reduced its research and development and marketing spend by billions each year through 2026. It will reduce capital expenditures by more than 20%, It will restructure to stop non-essential work, and it'll review all active projects and equipment to make sure it's not spending too much. We will reduce layers, eliminate overlap of areas of responsibility, stop all non-essential work. Wow, they lost 1.6 billion last quarter. Wow. Cancer specialists reveal new studies showing rising cases of cancer in the U.S. All is bad food. United States is the only country that analyzes citizens through the food. Everything we eat is banned in other countries. It really is. Mm. Illegal immigrants arrested on military base for trespassing walk free after posting five-figure bill. Two Jordanian nationals in the country illegally who were arrested for trespassing on a Marine Corps base in Virginia have been released from federal custody after posting bond. Where they get the money from? Oh, I forgot they get plenty of money crossing the border. My bad. An immigration and customs enforcement confirmed to Fox News Digital Hassan Youssef Hamdan and Mohammed Dabbous were allowed to bond out by immigration judge in June. The bonds were 15,000 and 10,000 for Hamdan and Dubai. Wow.
Fox confirming one of the two Jordanian nationals involved in the attempted breach at Marine Corps Base Quantico illegally crossed the border last month in San Diego. This news further highlighting the issues we've seen at our southern border during the Biden administration.
And Griff Jenkins joins us now with the latest. Griff, we didn't even know about this story for a long time. When we find out, we ask questions. Are they illegal, these people who breached? And we didn't get that answer until now.
Right, they are illegally in the country indeed, Ainsley, and you're right, this occurred initially on May 3rd. Now, Fox has confirmed through multiple DHS sources, as you mentioned, one of the two Jordanians involved in the attempted breach was illegally crossed the border last month in April in that San Diego sector, which is the epicenter of the crisis right now. He was released on a notice to appear because there was no initial derogatory information found him. Now, the other Jordanian national was an F1 student visa overstay. Neither have a criminal history in the U.S., and officials say they're withholding their identities over privacy issues. Both men, I'm told, are still in ICE custody awaiting removal proceedings. Now, according to that Quantico-based statement we initially got, the Jordanians told the officers they were working for an Amazon subcontractor, but Fox has also confirmed with Amazon on background, they say they have no knowledge of these two Jordanians working for them. Now, this comes on the heels of Lindsey Graham's letter yesterday, or 2 days ago, to DHS Secretary Mayorkas demanding information, including their immigration files.
Wow.
Fox confirming one of the two Jordanian nationals involved in the attempted breach at...
I need to send this to myself. Yep, let me share this to myself. Um, oh, I know where to send it. When I do the migrants again. All right, we got that going on. Let me see. Drone submarine finds mysterious 13-foot long structures under Antarctic ice. An unmanned submarine conducted a first of its kind survey underside an Antarctic glacier. The autonomous underwater vehicle RAN was tasked with exploring uh, the capacity beneath the Dawson ice shelf in West Antarctica. Over 27 days, RAN scanned the underside using sonar technology. Unexpectedly, the glacier's base displayed a complex terrain of peaks, valleys, plateau-like structures, and sand dune-like formations. As per live science, the longest of these shapes were 1,300 feet. These enigmatic shapes are believed to be the result of water flow influenced by the Earth's rotation as water flows through across the ice. Hmm. Yeah, well, that's interesting. U.S. sends warship to China's doorstep. Senate to vote on major tax bill to expand check, child tax credit business breaks. Harris slices Trump's national lead in half, per new polling. The Fed is about to do something it hasn't done since the pandemic. What is that? The Fed has kept interest rate at the highest level in more than 2 decades, making it more expensive to get a mortgage, borrow money, pay off debt. Now the central bank is mulling over when to do something it hasn't done since the late darkest. Oh, so now they're gonna cut interest rates. Oh, they didn't. They left it unchanged. They didn't cut. They just left it the way it is. They say a rate cut could be on the table in September. Let me see. A 6-year-old um, was unalived after his father forced him into an intense exercise regime only because he thought his son was overweight and waited days before taking the boy to the hospital. Father sentence. This happened in New Jersey. Wow. Donald Trump missteps stir growing Republican worried campaign seeks Vance reset. J-Lo stabbed in the heart. Photos of Ben Affleck's 20.5 million bachelor pads has emerged. Oh, you can't make this up. At least 32 people killed in Tyre beach blast after Al Qaeda linked suicide bomber gunman launch attack at resort. So this is the result of that stock market crash that people need to market bloodbath. S&P 500 crashes 1.2 trillion in hours as recession fears loom. 1.2 trillion was lost on Friday. This happened in 4 hours. And I hate to look at my 401k. Kamala Harris played key role in helping men become first illegal immigrant with law license.
Well, thank you all for coming. And thank you, Senator Ricketts, for not just this particular topic, but Senator Ricketts is a particularly active member on the W committee. And I appreciate that because I know you know it being a former governor probably better than some others. So interesting developments, some of them topical today. And some of you all have heard me talk about this, but I think this should be an outrage really to every taxpaying citizen. We're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, which is almost 2 years old as of this August. And it also, I noticed in the president's schedule that he was getting briefed on the Inflation Reduction Act. So I'm sure he got this briefing while he was being briefed on the Inflation Reduction Act, which we have renamed Invest in Radical Activities Act, because that's what this is about. So we've really been digging into who is getting these massive amounts of grants through the EPA. There's $3 billion in the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA, that will go for different climate buckets. And in our investigation, we found that a lot of this money that's going out really has little to do with the environment and a lot to do with funding groups that are basically engaged in what I characterize as anti-American activities. They're anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, anti-police, and anti-border security. So the first one I'm going to go to is, and before I do that, I'm also going to say that Vice President Harris, who is now the nominee for the Democrat presidential race, is quoted here. I put equity at the center of our nation's largest investment in climate in history to reach the organizations that know their community best. That's what she said when they rolled out and actually named these organizations. And interestingly, today, there was a news article today saying that the green groups have now formed a coalition today. And guess who they're endorsing for president? Vice President Harris. So let's go over to the following one. I say follow the money because I think that's where you find out. The first one is climate justice. It's up on the top right-hand bar there, $100 million. They have glorified Hamas in a lot of their social media, on their websites and other things. And they think Israel has no right to exist. They're getting $100 million. This is a direct grant to them. The next one is the NDN Collective. Do you know them? Yes, they're a partner. Yes, they on their social media call the United States a so-called country and also call for the defunding of the police and our United States military. Imagine that in these times right now. Next, we have two New York and New Jersey coalitions that are getting $50 million. They're actually going to be participating in granting $50 million. Their quotes are, the border and concept of citizenship is racist and wants no collaboration with federal immigration officials, and the ICE agenda is racist as well.
Wow. I got to send this to myself. Hold on. I got to send this to me. So she first said, help illegal immigrants to get their law license. Undocumented Mexican immigrant become the first licensed attorney in U.S. history. Garcia, whose parents permanently moved from Mexico to Northern California when he was 17, has been in a year-long struggle to achieve his dream of becoming an attorney, with his case eventually making it all the way to California Supreme Court. According to the report, Garcia worked in almond fields at a grocery store, received 2 degrees at a community college, and paralegal certificate from California State University, Chico. He would later go on to complete law school and pass the bar exam on his first try in 2009. However, the California Supreme Court initially blocked him from obtaining his license. When Kamala Harris supporters unsure, the battle was highly publicized, attracting the attention of the Obama administration, who publicly opposed his case, with the Obama Justice Department arguing that the 1996 law was plainly designed to preclude undocumented aliens from receiving commercial professional licenses issued by states and the federal government. While Harris serves today in the President Biden administration, she publicly bucked President Obama's administration, where President Biden was then serving as VP, and provided him an attorney from her office to argue on his behalf in front of the state Supreme Court. She has always been for undocumented illegal immigrants because her parents were at one time. Not illegal, I mean, but they're immigrants. The state bar, civil rights group, and Latino lawmakers in the state all came out in support of Garcia, through Harris' endorsement made a difference. When the highest law enforcement officer of the state weighs in and says this is legal, this is permissible, this is possible. She could have ducked and covered and tried to avoid any political but she sided with the state bar and Sergio Garcia, so I respect her for that. Hmm. But he did go to law school. Garcia, who now practices law in Chico, California, told the Sacramento Bee that Harris took a big risk by taking his side in the case over a decade ago. There was absolutely nothing she could gain from supporting me and a lot to lose. He now expresses some disappointment how Biden administration has handled immigration outreach in the Latino community. Garcia, who said he will still support a bill for president, hopes this will now push for immigration reform and to shine for immigrant community by helping the 11 million undocumented immigrants who currently live in the United States. I hope if she gets to become president, she gets to show the rest of the country, and especially the rest of the Latino community, the person that she showed me. Well, I'm going to end with that. Have a good night. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Oh, shoot. I don't know what happened. What happened?